Welcome to the 2020 Battle of the Goats.
Five.
We are off, and this is the Saturday qualifier to get into the main event on Sunday at Battle of the Goats. This is new. Last year it was just one big race. Now we've got a 2-day event, 3 hours to do 3 laps on an approximate 5-mile long course. All you gotta do is finish the 3 laps within the time, and you're in. Easy, right? So I'm dipping the toes in, getting the tires wet, feeling things out, and I just want to ride consistent. My game plan here is to ride out the qualifier, get the 3 laps, and save as much of my energy for tomorrow, the main event, because really, in all honesty, the main event is a survival race for me. It's a matter of trying to finish. Based on how Battle of the Goats went for me last year, I know what this is about. This is more about surviving than it is even thinking about how well you did. I mean, you do well just in the matter of finishing the race. So, anyway, we're not even there yet. The first step is qualifying. Things are not looking too bad. I remember this from last year. We kind of start out at some good trail, and we're down on this North Carolina clay. It's slippery stuff. Got to keep your speed up, your momentum going. That ditch crossing will get you if you're not paying attention. And then we got these ravines you're dropping down. In case you're not aware, Battle of the Goats is known for its hills. Unbelievable hills. And this is just a baby hill we're starting off on. But I'm coming into it, and I didn't stop and pay attention or look at anything. I screwed myself. I just went, and I didn't look at where I was going. But I have got a different rear wheel setup at this race. And if you saw the last video, the Moose Hard Enduro, I probably had the worst ride of my life. With a big key takeaway, my rear wheel setup was not working for me. I had to change something, and so I did. And I'm running an IX09 with a very soft Moose. I'm getting the feel, like this is the first time I rode with it. You gotta keep in mind, all these hard enduros that you're seeing were 1 week apart. So that is not much time to test. So here I am with an IX09, never ran or tested, but I can tell you right now, I'm feeling it out. I'm like, whoa, this thing's hooking up. Look at this, we got this rutted out, just gnarly trail. Muscling up these uphills, but what goes up must come down, and we've got some downs. Right here, I got my hand off the bars, I'm adjusting something. So this guy gets around me, and then we go down this hill, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa! Watch out! Woo! All right. Potentially a little less braking power with the new tire setup. That may be happening here. I don't know, or I'm just out of control. That's possible as well. So I roll up into this gully, and everything funnels in here, and there's bikes stuck. There's a bunch of people stuck up there. And you'd want to stay back here, so once it clears out, you could clean it. You know, you get some run up to it, clean it. But you can't, because if you stay back here and you leave a gap, people are going to go around you. So you kind of got to get up in here, but even so, it's getting jammed in. So I guess I just got to go right in there. I got to get right up in there. I just was trying to conserve my energy. I didn't want to get stuck up in here, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. of that mess hole. Take a 1-second breather, gasping for air, and I'm going. So I get through that section, I'm recovering, and you have about 30 seconds until you get to the chicken fight hole. I take a second, you know, look at what I'm doing, catch my breath, grab a drink, do my taxes, walk the dog, position myself, and prepare for takeoff. I'm crawling up this thing. There are people everywhere. Bikes everywhere. I got my line scoped out though. I'm coming up through here. I had this thing cherry picked. Look at this beautiful line. I take a second and I go for it. Come up here and then you got to do a left pivot.
There you go.
Not the most direct line, but hey, if I don't have to push my bike, I'm happy. Oh yeah, so we made it up it. I'm pumped. I'm like, yeah, finally, things are feeling all right. I'm feeling decent out here for once this season. Jeez, it's been a long time coming. Now we gotta go up this. I don't like this line.
Whoa! That was the line. That was perfect.
This one here, I like, yeah. I didn't like where I was, so I come down here. This is really one at a time, so that's Jackson Davis going through right now. And I go for it. Hold on, I got you. Who would put this rock in the way? It was right in the worst spot, so you couldn't lean the bike, or else you'd risk falling down the hill. So it was kind of a pain. All right, so I got through that. I'm catching my breath. And that was probably the hardest part of the qualifier. The problem is I've got to do 2 more laps of that, all within 3 hours. It's not a problem. I'm doing good on time. But it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of work for a qualifier. Look at the terrain for the qualifier. Man. Whew. Okay. So I was really taking my time to set up for these. Taking the extra second is worthwhile, but I think I could take less time. Like I'm definitely sitting longer than I need to. That was Blake from American Hard Enduro. Getting some shots out there. Oh, so now we got this gully. And this one wasn't so bad when you're on the rocks. The clay was more slippery, I thought, especially the roots. The roots are what really get you. So I got stuck on this. But I like my gullies on the rocks. It works better that way. You go up it better. So up in here, this was the better part. Beginning of these races, I always forget to breathe. Like, it takes me a little bit to start to remember to breathe and to relax. So I had a moment here, I was like, I'm a little bit fatigued. I'm winded. And then I start to relax and catch my breath and things start feeling better. But as I'm working through this endurocross track, I think I was in my moment of like, oh man, I'm not feeling the best. So I come through scoring. And that's when Benjamin Herrera, who is leading the race, passes me. He launches over that. I'm like, whoa, I should do that, but I wasn't keeping my eyes on what I was doing. That didn't go so well. But it's this next obstacle that I really run into a wall. Oh, literally. So those efforts to catch my breath completely backfired as I knocked all the breath out of me. Don't want to forget my goggles. All right, so this is what I remember. Breathe. Hear that? I'm breathing. Oh. Bad line at the ditch. Bad line. So even these wide trails are tough. Look at how blown out they are. There's rocks everywhere, ruts you're muscling and punching through. And then up here there's this human deep rut. And look how deep this thing is. What the heck? What? Come on. No. Take a second. Oh, yes. Go over here and take a second and look at it.
Back. Is that you?
Yeah, it is.
I love the videos, man.
Huh, thank you.
I got you, man. Go get it.
Oh, yeah. Keep her crawling. Not that way. The roots, so the one thing I was picking up here, I was like, yeah, roots are not working. Stay off the roots. They're slick. And my goal here was just to keep forward progress going. I'm trying to not let these harder hills or obstacles hold me up for too long. So the one thing is I started on, I think it was row 12. So I was starting 12 minutes behind the front runners like Cody Webb, Benjamin Herrera, Tristan Hart, those guys. So they're already coming around. That's Cody Webb right there. I got roosted. I got straight up blasted with dirt to the face. I looked like a coal miner. I mean, my face was black, full of dirt. I'm not mad, just disappointed. A little later on, we're at this thing again, and it's jammed up even worse than the first lap.
That we ain't never gonna make a goddamn lap.
One guy was wicked mad because he's on his first lap, and with the 1 minute separation between each row, the leaders are on their third lap. We're on the second lap. That guy's on his first lap, and we're all going through the same section together, and it gets, a multi-lap race. It gets real jammed in here, but, we're all in the same boat. You got to work through it. It's racing. Hey, can I go? What's that? Can I go? Go ahead, go. That's Noah Keppel. I let him go. I think he was on his third lap, but, you know, I don't know. All right. Got through that, and we're back to the chicken fight hole. I decide, you know what? I'm taking that same line I took. That worked out for me. I'm gonna do it again. Pivot turns, I gotta work on them. I gotta go out to a field and do pivot turns all day. That's what I gotta go do. Oh! Not quite.
All right. Hold on, get it out of the front.
Oh, I gotta get that front wheel out. Yeah. Outside assistance was allowed, so people could come and help you. They had pole ropes, everything. And you know, I at first was like, I don't know about that.
I got water here.
Like I'm thinking, you know, is it fair? But then, you know, everybody's getting help. And like Tom said, he was out there pulling people up. He said he had so much fun. He'd rather be doing that than racing. He was having a blast, right in the action, pulling people, helping. So I don't know, it's unique, different. Every event's got their own thing, and that's kind of what's neat about the Hard Enduro series. Every event is unique, and it's got its own little set of terrain and rules and formats and such.
Yeah, I would go over and I would go up this.
Jump that.
The camera ran out of battery around halfway through the second lap here, but nothing too exciting happened. I rode a fairly consistent ride, kind of like how I'm doing here, a few mishaps here and there. And so I finished the 3 laps in time. Only 79 riders made it to the main event. I ended up finishing 26th out of all of them, and that sets me up to start on Sunday in the main event. That is coming up. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you at the main event coming up at Battle of the Goats.